Hey everyone, welcome to Empower Team Monday Night Call. I'm Natalie Dolan. Y'all know me. Tonight we're going to be talking about our top tips for closing, sealing the deal. And we are going to be sharing Natalie Borges, Tova Privet, and Kylie Davila. We're all going to be sharing our tips. And then we're going to start off with Nicole Morales, who's going to share her health testimony. If you know Nicole, she is on fire for Plexus. Like, she has such strong, passionate belief and a really, really amazing story. And so I know that when you guys hear it, you're going to be fired up. So take it away, Nicole. What's up?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be sharing with you tonight. If it gets a little noisy, I'm on the balcony of my hotel room right now in Hawaii. I had nowhere else to go to get away from my kids for a second. But so yeah, I'm just excited to be sharing. My testimony with Plexus started about 7 months ago in November. November was a life-altering month for me and my family. And I will get emotional because I always do. But we experienced a miscarriage in November. And y'all, that is when my depression, my hormones and everything plummeted to the ground. And I remember one day I was laying on the floor in my laundry room, and I heard my kids coming up the stairs, and it took everything in me to get up off of the floor so my kids didn't see me like this. And at this point, I knew it was more of an imbalance in my body versus me just mourning this loss, which it went hand in hand, of course, but it was definitely an imbalance in my body that I was feeling. And I thought to myself in that moment, I said, there has got to be a better way. I have got to take this into my own hands and, utilize the things that the Lord has given me and all of us to improve our health. And so that's when my journey with Plexus really took off. By the end of the first month, I was feeling so good. I have suffered from IBS really my whole entire life. I've been in and out of the ER multiple times with zero reasons to why my gut was so bad. And I mean, not going to the bathroom for months at a time, not even kidding, maybe going one time a month. Like, that's how bad it was. And I remember a doctor looking at me and said, "You're literally full of poop." And like, my stomach, my x-ray showed that. So they would, of course, prescribe Miralax, all the things that are just coping mechanisms. And so from that point on, I noticed my digestion literally took a 360. It was night and day. My depression was subsiding. My anxiety was subsiding. And I felt so good. I was on this road of healing from losing our baby, and I was feeling so good after that first month. I knew that the Lord was asking me to share these products because he is just faithful that way to, in that loss, plant something new in my heart. And it really gave me hope because I'm able to then give other people hope of what I've found with these products. And that's why I share unashamed. That's why I'm confident in these products, because I know how life-changing they have been for me. And so that's why I just get so excited and so pumped up to share. And sharing confidently with people, I think, is the number one thing for me in this business, because when you share confidently, people believe you, and so it's all about your belief in the product. And so that's really just where I'm at right now. I'm so excited to be on this team, and I'm just pumped because these products are legit, and my belief in them is 110%.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, Nicole. I swear
Yeah.
every time your story pumps me up, and I just love hearing you tell it. And it's just so good for us all to be reminded and see how these products, what we're doing is changing lives. Like they're actually just so life-changing and so desperately needed, and the answer to people's prayers. And
Yes.
so yeah, I thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you for having me share.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much. Okay. All right, y'all. So now we're going to go into our closing tips. And we are going, Kylie, I don't know if you're available right now or whenever you want to hop in, Kylie. She's solo parenting right now with her baby and all the things. You want to go first, Kylie?
Yes, I do. This is my babysitter right now. So you guys, okay, closing tips. I actually really like this subject, and I think that the closing is one of the most exciting things that we do in our business because it's really when the journey begins. That's not the goal. The goal is to get them going, and this is the beginning. So the first thing I want to share is just capitalizing on excitement. There is a huge opportunity when they're excited, when they're ready. This is the one time I try to set boundaries with my time, like a cutoff that I'm not answering messages, to unplug every night. But if I have somebody that messages me and they're like, hey, I know it's late, but I just put my kids down, I'm ready to order, I will for sure, unless something crazy is happening, I will say, yes, let's do it. You have to capitalize on their excitement and make exceptions, because when somebody is ready, they're ready, and you never know what tomorrow holds. And so I like to think about it like, if you go to a car dealership, there is a reason why they try so hard to get you guys to stay there, because you're really excited, you test drive, and they don't want you to leave, because the statistics are if you leave, that you're more than likely not to come back and order. And not saying that somebody wouldn't order in the future, but when somebody's ready, they're ready. So just really capitalize on their excitement. If they're ready, just right then and there, we're going to sign them up. Which leads me into my second tip that I have for you guys, is just the convenience of signing them up yourself. If at all possible, I do it. And I don't really ask them or make it confusing to them with wording. I just say, like, pretend like Natalie just said, hey girl, I'm ready. I love that welcome pack. That's what I want to get started with. I'm like, perfect. Are you free right now? I'm going to call you, and it's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll just ask you the questions as we go, and it'll be super easy, super quick. And if for some reason, maybe there's a certain exception, I've had before where somebody said, hey, I'm ready right now. Can I just like message you my information? And I say, yes. But then the next follow-up would be, hey, I message them back and forth, get them signed up, and then really follow up with, do you have time tomorrow that I could call and chat with you about everything we just got ordered, getting you started? But if at all possible, you need to sign them up yourself, because they're not familiar with the website like you are. It just avoids any complications or them getting frustrated. So I, at all costs, try to do it myself. Set it up, it's smooth, they're happy, it's on the way, and then you can go from there. So those are my tips.
Nat, you want to go next?
Awesome. Yes, signing them up over the phone too is always great. Get to hear your voice and excitement. For me, my one of my top tips is just affirming them. When you are ready to close somebody, you want to affirm them. You want to restate why they need this. They already told you, right? At this point, they've already told you they're bloated, they don't feel good, they have painful periods. So I'll bring all of that up again when I'm ready to close. So I'm going to say, oh my gosh, like honestly, everything you've told me, I mean, with your bloating, your period pain, how you're only going to the bathroom twice a week, you're low energy. Like I will restate everything they told me, and I will say, this is the perfect fit for you. This really sounds like this is the perfect fit for you. When can we get you going? I would love, I have some time tonight, 8 p.m. I would love to get you going. You want to create that urgency as well. And honestly, it works. It really, really works. When they kind of hear it from somebody else, right? Everything that they just stated to you, whether it be through a week of talking or a few days of talking, I mean, that's enough for them to know, oh my gosh, I have a problem, right? They have a problem and we are solving that problem. That's what we do. So we refocus on the problem. So before you close, you want to refocus the whole conversation back on the problem. And that has been very effective for me. You want to create that urgency. We always have a coupon. I mean, we've had this SAM 2020 coupon forever. That's going to help you create urgency, right? So when you're closing, you're going to say, also, I have a coupon, and be excited. Like Kylie said, be excited about it. That creating that urgency with the coupon, or right now, $1, you can get wholesale membership for $1. You can, I mean, it's all of these things just help us create that urgency for our customers, for our friends that are literally there. They don't know how the process goes. So sometimes people get stuck. So it's your job to remind them again, hey, this is your problem. And hey, here's how we can solve it. And it's just very, very effective.
Yes, so good. Hey, Tova, I'm gonna let you go last and close this out. Okay. So yes, creating urgency is key. So I love what you said, Nat, about especially, like saying, hey, I have a coupon code, or even if you have to create an extra incentive, hey, just this week, sometimes something that you can do is just creating an extra special incentive for these people, to help them just get over, have more urgency, right? And just commit, because there's a lot of people who struggle with commitment. So creating an extra incentive, hey, and I'm going to send this week, everybody that orders with me, I'm going to send out a special gift. I'm going to send out, like those little, what are those little things that you put in your drink that like mixes it up? I'm going to send you a little mixer, or I'm going to send you a sample, a 7-day trial, or whatever, or an extra $10 off this week, and sometimes that is enough to get people over the edge. But what I want to say is that most people won't close themselves. And so if you don't know where somebody stands in the process, try to close them. If you don't know where they are, if it's kind of confusing, you're at this kind of standoff, that's the best way that you can check to see how ready somebody is to try to close them. Are you ready to do it right now? And if they're not, what you want to do is get people's objections. Getting people's objections are very, very important. If people are giving you their objections and talking to you, this is a really good thing. You need to get excited when people say, but this, or but that, or like that. That means they're willing to be open and honest with you, and they trust you enough that they'll give you their objections. And so it takes a lot of, sometimes, what I do, if I can't quite get the close with somebody, I'll be like, hey, I'll do like what Natalie does, and I'll re-clarify. So all of this needs to be very clear, because if there's confusion, they don't move forward, because they're confused about maybe the products, or maybe they're confused about what it really does for them. Maybe you haven't quite gotten all of their health goals clarified for them, or how it all works, or, exactly how much it's going to be, and so getting those objections is an important part, and getting all the clarity and getting to the real reason, because sometimes people will give you a reason why they're not ready, and that's sometimes not really the real reason. And so it's our job to ask good questions. Hey, if something that I like to say specifically is, if money weren't an issue, is there anything else holding you back from getting started today? And so a lot of the time people will hide behind the money or like blame their spouse or something. And so I like to take that upfront objection and say, if it wasn't about the money, is there anything else? And then you'll get to the real root. If it wasn't, if your husband maybe doesn't agree, if there was anything else besides him holding you back, what would that be? Getting to the real reason, because people will I find that people hide behind those two things, like either a spouse or money. But sometimes, it might be something else. So, I have that. And yeah. Oh, my last tip is connect with people's emotions. So facts tell, but stories sell, right? So you can tell people there's chromium in Slim, and that's great. But what you want to do is connect with people's emotions and feelings. So people are like, okay, yeah, there's chromium in Slim, and that should be making me feel better, I guess. But when you say, when you take this, you're going to feel less stressed. You're going to feel more free. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel happier. You're going to feel all of, use those feelings. Tell people how they are going to feel, because they will make a decision. Most people, the majority of people, are going to make a decision based on their feelings, and less about logistics. Sometimes you have to use wisdom and you'll know who those other people are, but most of the time use feelings, and that really helps to connect with people. And remember, you have not because you ask not. So you just have to at least ask where people are. Okay, Tova, you're up next.
Yes, and to piggyback on what Natalie said, I love it when people have objections, and I take that as an opportunity to compliment them. I'm like, I just want to say, I wish more people cared about their health enough to ask questions and to care about what they're putting in their body. So that's a nice way to like deflate when someone's getting like peppering you with objections. Okay, so I have 2 or 3 big ones. I assume the sale, almost like over the top. I tell my people, like, we're going to act like everybody just said, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I'm so excited. Sign me now. So we're just going to like imagine that sentence just happened with every single person that we're talking to. Now we're going to go through the steps, but when that sentence would be appropriate to be spoken, I just act like it's been spoken. And so when we get to a point that's right, I'll present them with 2 options only, a 109 and a 209. And I'm like, which one of these do you feel more comfortable with, or do you think would fit, whatever your thing is, you say. And they're gonna respond, because you're asking, out of these 2, which one fits you better? You're asking a specific question. You're not like, how does this sound? Don't do that. And then when they answer, I'm like, this is gonna address your needs, like they both said, and I'm so excited about how quickly we're gonna get you feeling better. Do you have 10 minutes right now? Because we can get you squared away. I'm free. So right there, I just acted like they're like, absolutely, I'm ready. And I'll tell y'all, 7 out of 10 people are like, yeah, or no, I'm not free. I'm like, are you free later tonight or 10 a.m.? Not sometime tomorrow. Don't do that. Be specific. Ask them specific questions. Are you free right now? Are you free at 8 p.m.? Are you free at 10 a.m.? All right. And then the reason people are willing to do this with you is because you've listened to them and validated them. And everything the other woman said does that. They are going to trust you to guide them through this process. And that's the thing here. We're literally a tour guide. Do tour guides ever just stop and like stand there and wait for you to pick a direction, like on a campus tour? Like, you want to go left or right? No, they're walking and you're following them. So people expect the exact same thing. And I think those are my big ones. If they decline, so if they're at that point where I'm like, do you have time right now? And they're like, well, I need to think about this, I'm not sure. Then I'm like, awesome, let me know, what is the most pressing thing? What questions do you have? I thoroughly enjoy questions. So now you've opened it back up. You know exactly where they stand. There's no like, I wonder if they're ready. They're not ready. They have questions, and then you can go down that route. And then you're going to schedule a follow-up. You're going to send them a video to watch, and you're going to check in with them and see if they watched it. And of course, some people just aren't ready. Their objections are a huge list of excuses. So the longer you do this, you'll learn the difference between people who have real questions versus just a list of excuses. All right, that's for my little tips for closing. I want to go over really quickly the 2 sales. I know we've talked about these. You're probably getting tired of hearing about them, but I want to make sure everybody understands. This is the wording I've been using for like a post. I just put it in the chat. And I can also put it in our comment group if you don't get it. This is for the 4-1, and then don't underestimate the power of the bring 3 friends one for the one for people who have, my emojis look funny, who have already been using. So for the 4 deal, I'll drop the photos in again. But in the end, what happens is people pay 100. I'm going to start at the end and work backwards because this might help. People pay $115. That's after shipping and tax, roughly, because it's a 109, it's discounted to 98, and then membership's $1. So they're paying 99, about 15 or 16 shipping, sales tax. They're going to pay 115. They're going to get 105 sent back to them by the 15th. So 105 minus 115 is 10. So they're paying $10 when the dust settles. It is a rebate. That's why we're using the word rebate. Rebates are, you go buy a $300 vacuum, you get a $100 rebate like 3 months later. So people, if you use that word, should understand. But don't get into the explaining part of it when you're closing the sale. That's way later. Are you interested in trying for a month for $10? Like that's it. There's no reason to talk about the how until we're way, like, literally signing up. And one person really needs to understand the how, and it's the person going silver. All we need to tell everybody else is you're going to get your money before the 15th. That's it. And then concerning the 3 people, so I wrote in there, hey, we're running a friends and family coupon. People understand that from like other stores who do friends and family coupons. I feel like that verbiage is working well. Do you want to knock $85 off your order this month? I was saying, do you want to get your stuff for $35, but not everybody orders triplex. So that's not totally accurate. This is assuming they have 100 PV or it won't work, but they might order $180 in products every month. So do you want to knock 85 off your order and have 3 of your friends triplexes for 30 days for $30? My $sign. I don't know if it came through. So before we let everybody go, is any of that not making sense? It's okay if you ask, you're not going to sound dumb. There's a lot of numbers we're talking about. But if you don't explain this concise and clear, people just aren't going to ask. And they're just going to be like, that sounds complicated. So they can, if you're brand new, it's 4 friends, everybody $10. That's the end of it. And then if you're already been using Plexus, hey, you can knock $85 off and have 3 friends try for $30, $1 a day.
When you are do you emphasize the 3 so that they know that if they sign up too, they know that they're not going to get all of that? Is that something that you've been doing?
So I've had everybody ask that question when they get interested and I'm in a chat with them. But yeah, I would make sure of that. And I'd be real careful signing up somebody until you have everybody's info. I would almost wait till I have everybody's info written down. Do the phone call like I'm going to sign them up. The problem is, like, if people want to go ahead and sign up and then they say their friends are going to sign up tomorrow, and then they back out. So that's a risk. So I'd be real careful with saying, I'm going to do you all at once to make sure the coupon works.
Good. Okay. So you're asking everybody at the same time to sign up at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, technically they don't have to. We know that, but I think it's safer to say, to make sure the coupon works right, I'm going to hold y'all's information and do it all on the same day. I just lost power, guys. I don't know what's going on. So I would make sure, because I'd be really afraid of 4 people, 1 person flaking at the end or their credit card not working or something. And then you can present to people at the end, oh, there's only 2 of you, so instead of your packs being 99, we can get them down to 75. So that's the bring a friend takes the packs from 99 to 75 if they split just the one referral. So like a husband and wife, we can get your packs down to 75 each if you both come instead of 99. So that's a backup. But yeah, good question.
So something that you could also do is saying, providing some wording with, hey, I'm looking for 3 friends. I need to have, 3 friends committed to this so that all of us can move forward together. Otherwise it won't work unless all 4 of us are in this. Can you commit to that for the group accountability that we're starting?
And I've been offering Zooms, if you have your 3 friends, because a lot of people know 3 people, but they don't know each other. And I'm like, why don't we do a 5-minute Zoom where I just explain how you're going to get your products. And if anyone has a question, they can say it right then we can decide. So I haven't done one yet, but I'm like offering that.
Totally. This is just something we're going to hop off really quick, but thank you so much for explaining that, Tova. This is just a really super unique tool that's really working for people, and developing silvers is a key to massive growth and a steady business. Signing up, recruiting people is great. But it's really what you do with the people that you sign up that matters the most for longevity and massive growth in this business. So just always kind of keep that in mind. It's how you're stewarding the people that you're bringing in, Okay, guys, we will see you on the next Monday night call. Thanks, everyone.